Hi there, it's Rob for Shape Your Future Online, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most common limiting beliefs when it comes to starting a new venture, such as starting an online business, and that is that, hey Rob, I simply just don't have the time to do this. Well, I'm going to put it to you that the fact that you feel like you don't have the time to do this is exactly the reason why you should be investigating how you can do this. Particularly with something like a passion-based business, an online business, this gives you much more time freedom than, say, working in a corporate career where you can be working anywhere between 8 and 12 hours a day and also bringing work home with you, of course. So this is exactly the reason why you should be looking into how you can find more time, because this limiting belief is absolute nonsense. So let's try and frame this right. So, you know, if you are working in a job that's 10 hours a day, you've got family too, you've got children, you've got other activities, you've got to bring work home with you as well. But Rob, you know, I've got to take work home with me, and I've got to work weekends as well, and I'm running the kids here to this activity and that and blah, blah, blah. I get you. I've been there. It's tough. Yeah. It's tiring. But let's look at the time that we can find around all of these activities. And also understand that, do we want to go on living our lives for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, however much longer it is that you've got to work, complaining that you've not got the time, that you're tired, that you're fed up with doing what you're doing? If you're not fed up with doing what you're doing, I don't really know why you're listening to me on my YouTube channel or on Facebook here. But if you are unhappy, do you want to go through all the rest of your life moaning that you've not got the time to really be able to go on and do the things that you want to do? Well, what are you actually truly doing for the rest of the time that you have in your life? Go and write down, honestly, what you are doing over this period of a week. So how much time are you spending watching TV? And be honest about it. You know, how often are you putting on a Netflix marathon when you're just absolutely knackered? But Rob, I'm tired. You know, I've been stressed with the kids. I'm stressed with work. I just want to have a glass of wine and watch a bit of a box series. I get it. There's nothing better than that, right? When you're really tired. But how much time are you actually doing that? Write it down and be honest. You know, how much time are you spending just chatting nonsense with people that probably aren't a great circle of influence for you anyway? Write it down. How much time a week are you spending doing that? What about what are you doing at the weekends? Do you have some kind of hobby? Are you following a football team or a sports team? Yeah, but this is something that I do to relax, Rob. You know, this is a big part of my life and I enjoy doing that. Well, would it be a problem if you didn't do that for a year or maybe 2 years, which freed up, you know, 4 or 5 hours a week to be able to do something like start to grow an online business? I mean, we're talking here about making sacrifices in our life in terms of time. You know, we're not talking about finding time magically. There are only 24 hours in a day for everyone, right? But there are substitutions that we can make. You're not going to watch TV for a year or 2 years to be able to grow an online business and quit your 9 to 5. So be it. Is that so much of a sacrifice, really? You know, starting an online business, for instance, if we're talking about that, because that is my experience, because that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years, it's initially going to take away more of your time, especially if you're working in a 9 to 5 career, which the majority of people who are starting online businesses from scratch are doing. They're finding the time, you know, in and around their lives by not watching TV, not following sports teams, not going to the pub. They're getting up earlier in the morning, an hour earlier, so they can work an hour on educating themselves to grow an online business. It's about substituting that time. So be honest about what you're doing. And really, can you tell me that you can't find an extra hour a day? Because that's all it takes, right? Now, if you're fortunate enough to be able to start a new venture and you can do that full time and you could do it 8 hours a day, then you're going to be able to start that venture, start that online business maybe much, much quicker than if you're working in a 9-to-5 job. But then you have to set yourself a realistic expectation, and how much do you want this? If you've got an hour extra that you can find a day to learn how to build an online business, and it's going to take you 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years until you could grow that business to a point where you are now making way more than you can in any corporate career, would it be worth doing that? I mean, if your boss at work came to you and said, right, I want you to work an hour a day extra for no pay, but after, let's say, 5 years, for instance, that you are not going to have to work anymore in this job, and you may be going to be able to work 4 hours a day, doing something you love, working from home, working from wherever you want to work. Would you do that? Of course you would. I'm aged 45 now. If I was starting now and someone told me that, I'd be, knowing what I know now, I'd be well prepared to do an hour a day for 5 years, even though I know it wouldn't take me 5 years. It'd probably take me about a year to become successful doing that. So it leads me on to my final point here. What is going to motivate you if you're working in a 9-to-5 job? And let's face it, it's not 9 to 5, is it? It's 10 hours, it's 12 hours a day, it's bringing work home. And as I said, then you've got family and you've got other stuff going on. What is going to motivate you to be able to find that 1 to 2 hours a day to start a new passion-based venture, an online business like I've done over this past 2 years? You've got to start to really understand what it is that you want for yourself in your life. You've got to find that vision, that passion, that purpose, that vision. Go and check out my videos on my YouTube channel, Shape Your Future Online, where I talk about these and the importance of finding that vision, knowing why you want to do this, and then the how will all become very, very easy for you. So the next time that you say that you haven't got time to start an online business, come and watch this video again and make sure that you are able to understand that you can find an hour, 2 hours a day by trimming the fat of the things that you don't need to do, the things that will not bring you fulfillment. But building an online business will bring you fulfillment if you've got a clear vision of what you want to do, and you will be able to find the time. So hopefully I've dispelled that myth, and I will catch you in the next video. So if you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button, leave me a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to see more content like this, click on the subscribe button. Click on the like button for me, leave me a comment. I'd love to engage with you further, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye now.